So today we celebrate the feast of Saint Wenceslas. I was doing, during my prayer this morning, I was reading just some more information about Saint Wenceslas that I'd never, I'm fascinated by the martyrs. So Saint Wenceslas was 18 years old when he became the king. Just to think 18 years old, I'm literally a king and ruling and governing. His mother actually had abandoned Christianity, and it was due to his aunt and his grandmother that he really even knew the faith or was raised strongly in the faith. So for any of you who are grandmothers or aunts, and I mean that, to think about your role in the life of your nephews, in the life of your grandsons, your granddaughters and nieces as well, but the role of family and so anyways, Wenceslas was a very, very devout man. Even when he first took on this role at the age of 18, clearly wanted to identify himself as a Christian king and would do great works of charity and mercy towards those who were in need. And even though he died for political realms, in the political sphere, he was ultimately martyred by his younger brother. As soon as he was killed, he was proclaimed a martyr by the people of the region that just saw him as a saint. So anyways, on the Feast of St. Wenceslas, we always like to sing the song, Good King Wenceslas. So does everybody have their piece of paper? Great, here we go. And plus it makes you think of Christmas, and then we all get excited. Well, we should, because it's awesome. Okay, here we go. You can sing along, and we're going to stop after each verse. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen. When's the Feast of Stephen? The 26th, which is the whole craziness about this song. So the only reason it's a Christmas song is because of that. I mean, it's also because it takes place in winter, but really, anyways, here we go. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. So it's cold, it's December 26th, and here's a poor man, and he's out gathering sticks, which is the winter fuel. And Wenceslas sees that, and because he is king, he can say crazy things like the next verse, because I don't know if any of you have a page, but I don't happen to have a page. The only page that I have is right here in front of me with God's word on it. He actually has a page. So here we go. Hither, page, and stand by me, if thou knowest telling, yonder peasant, who is he, where and what his dwelling? Sire, he lives a good league hence, underneath the mountain, right against the forest fence, by St. Agnes fountain. So I live in Yorkville. I presume that good King Wenceslas, he's in charge of the whole entire kingdom, and this particular page knows the people in that area. So this is when I ask someone who's from Yorkville or Dover, and I'm like, hey, who is that person related to? And then they tell me the whole entire lineage of they're related to this person, but then they also married this person, and they live down this road, not that other road. No, not that road. They live down that road, remember? And then they married that other person. Remember how that works? So he's like, hey, Paige, hey, who's that peasant over there? And he tells them not only who he is, but he's like, yeah, this is exactly where he lives as well. He lives by that fountain, called St. Agnes, which is also awesome that the fountain is named St. Agnes, because we have a stained glass window here, right there, the middle window there, dedicated to who? St. Agnes. Here we go. So this is where we see the heart of good King Wenceslas. So he says this: "Bring me flesh and bring me wine, bring me pine logs hither, thou and I see when we bear them thither. Page and Marnock, forth they went together, through the rude's wind laid lament, and the bitter weather." Okay, I got caught up on a bunch of words there, but that's totally fine. So this is what he says: bring me wine, bring me flesh, so bring me food and drink, and bring me some pine logs, meaning like he's out like gathering like sticks. Let's bring him some pine logs, and we will dine with him. So I'm the king, but I'm gonna go and choose to dine with what? Poverty. So what is this a symbol of? Yeah. What's going to happen here at this Mass? The King of the whole entire universe, the God of all creation, will come down upon this altar and he'll dine with us, lowly human beings. So Page and Monarch, forth they went together, through the rude wind's wild lament and the bitter weather. Sire, the night is darker now, and the wind blows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how, I can go no longer. Okay, so this is great, because now the page is a pansy. And the page who's supposed to be like serving the king, he's like, oh, it's so cold, I'm really tired, I just can't do this anymore. And then we get the king's response. Mark my footsteps, my good page, tread thou in them boldly. Thou shalt find the winter's rage freezes thy blood less coldly. So here the king is like, listen, I will actually serve you, my page, so like, follow me, I'll take the lead on this, and walk in my footsteps as we're walking through the snow, and it'll make your journey easier. Continue. In his master's step he trod, where the snow lay dinted. Heat was in their very sod, where the saint had printed. Therefore, Christian men, be sure, wealth or rank possessing, ye who now will bless the Lord, shall yourselves find blessing. So, of course, the king, in serving not only the poor who were in need of service, but also serving his own page, blesses both of them, and we are called then to do the same. And we will find blessing when we choose to serve others, and we choose to give of ourselves. So today, let's make that commitment today to find ways to be servants, to find ways to follow in the footsteps of good King Wenceslas. And for those of you particularly who are grandmothers or aunts, maybe you should call your grandsons or your nephews today and encourage them in the faith. Let us stand.